Yo, it's Splatterhead,
Groby,
Mackey,
and we are
the Fan Club Blitz.
on Murph's Fan Cave, a great podcast network.
Sure is.
It is. It's amazing.
Yes.
Home of Raiders Fan Radio
Yes.
and all kinds of other stuff.
All kinds of other stuff.
Mondays with Mikey and Murph
Yes.
Tales from the Dark
Tales
Side.
from the Dark Side.
and all that jazz.
And all that jazz.
And then you got us, the Fan Club Blitz.
Yes.
Where we bring you all kinds of crap. We're three Raiders fans,
Yes.
but we're not going to limit ourselves to talking about the Oakland Raiders all the time.
No, because there's more fan clubs than the greatest fan club in the world, which is the Oakland Raiders, the Black Hole Fan Club.
That's right.
You know, there's a whole lot more in this world, man.
Yeah, we'll bring you some soccer hooligans.
Yeah, we got that coming up. We actually got a guy that, you know, he's a buddy of mine. Knows all about that stuff. So,
Yeah.
so we're going to get him on the show next couple episodes.
That's right. So anyway, we are the Fan Club Blitz. Thanks for tuning in. Follow and subscribe to Murph's Fan Cave on your favorite podcast forum, platform, whatever the hell they call that thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Google it.
Google it.
Murph's Fan Cave. Follow, like,
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah,
YouTube. Follow, like, subscribe.
That's the simplest.
Yeah, and Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
right.
He's on all that stuff.
And so are we.
And so are we.
The Fan Club Blitz. Okay, Fan Club Blitz.
Here we go.
That was our, everybody heard our new intro there.
Yeah, kind of new.
I
Might
don't know
change.
why I'm not getting much of me in my headphones because I'm not wearing them.
Yeah, see? You know,
There you go.
Jiggle the wire, man. Put the headphones on.
I'm not even drunk today. And I'm like, why don't I hear my headphones? I don't have them on. So, this is the Fan Club Blitz with your host, Splatterhead
Groby.
Mackey.
and Mackey. And, yeah, different cast of characters.
Different
man.
cast of characters, different year, murder hornets,
Yeah.
pandemics,
Sodomy geese.
Sodomy geese.
Sodomy geese.
That's a new one.
I actually want to see that.
Race. We got protesters, race
Yes.
riots,
Yes.
all kinds of stuff going
Yeah.
on, man, in the
Yep.
world today.
Yeah,
We're still on lockdown.
we're still on lockdown.
It's yeah, we still can't go out to eat or anything.
No.
Can't go sit in a bar.
Nope.
It's a weird world that we're living in. I almost said weird something world, but I remembered I don't want to sit around editing this thing
Yeah, let's not.
for 8 hours.
Well, the governor just put us on lockdown for another month, yet at the same time, they eased the restrictions for June 15th and then June 22nd.
Well, we're
so
on-
it's going to get even more silly
We're
at
on
this point.
we're on phase 1 now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can go camping.
We can get out in the world. We can get
can.
out in the world.
Yes, you can. You can go to the beach.
You can go to the beach.
Go to
I went to the
parks.
beach yesterday.
State parks are open.
Well, we don't go to the beach in Jersey. We go down the shore.
Yeah.
That's
And I
right.
went there yesterday. See, I grew up in California. We just go to the beach. But we could walk there,
Yeah.
you know, pretty much from almost anywhere.
Yeah.
Sorry, Fresno. You can't walk to the beach. But most of us who live in the real California can walk to the beach.
Yes.
At least hop a bus and get there in a few minutes. But I went down the shore yesterday, let the dog take a dip. It was a blast watching him try and attack the waves because he thought they were chasing him. Yeah. I'm like, don't drink that stuff, dude. I've seen what salt water does to dogs when they drink too much of it.
You don't. Yeah.
I don't want that happening in my car
Yes,
like it happened in Florida.
Exactly. You don't want a dog in your car that's been drinking seawater.
No.
You do not.
And it happened to me in Pensacola,
Yes.
Florida once, and it was like,
Yeah.
uh-oh.
Yep.
I should have Googled this beforehand. And then phase 2, I think, begins June 15th.
Yeah, we're doing the outdoors. Like bars are scrambling to create outdoor areas
You know what that means?
so we can hang.
black hole meeting at the cottage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
the cottage is in good shape. You already had that deck over there.
He's got the deck ready.
Yeah.
And I actually was in there last week.
We
And,
we actually thought about doing the show today from there.
Yeah. Because I was
out on the deck.
Because
Yeah.
I was there last week, and because the Governor Murphy was supposed to announce last week, and he never did. He waited, but we were all waiting for the announcement. So I went to Damien and I said, "What did he say?" And he goes, "Nothing."
Yeah.
He goes, "But if you come in here and you order food and a drink to go, and then you walk up on the deck and sit down, I ain't gonna stop you." He's
Really?
like,
Right.
He's like, "We can't serve you."
Yeah.
But you want to order something to go?
Get around the technicality. There's tables out there.
He's like, I ain't saying anything.
Have a seat.
And currently where we are now is gearing up to
Open up. That's
open
right.
up and put some outdoor seating in and fire that stuff all up.
No, absolutely. Like you eat, at the cottage, if he puts the full bar out there to where he just has those couple taps.
I was worried
He's
this
in good
morning.
shape. He's in good shape.
I might lose my personal parking spot temporarily because of this
Yeah. That's happening.
outside seating business.
So they're thinking that they're not going to be ready on the 15th to open.
No.
Here at Stu and Dolly's, they're talking about maybe 4th of July weekend, something like that.
Which is good.
And as a new business, it's a good idea for
There'll
them.
be rednecks out back
just
blasting
to
off
make
fireworks,
sure you
till
got your
Gene yells
stuff
at 'em.
together.
Yeah.
And speaking earlier about it, it was like, you know what? You don't know what kind of crowd you're going to get in. You might as well build up your business.
Yes.
With little crowds. Get a taste of what you're going to do. Find out what you do right. Find out what you do wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, all right, now we're full business. All right, we've already worked out the kinks.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're already in good
Yeah,
shape.
the kinks are done. You know.
It's almost like you get a little bit of a trial run, and most people don't get that.
No, they do
they
not.
don't. You got to open the doors and hit the
That's
ground
why
running.
I had mentioned earlier, I was thinking you're probably better off that you didn't open for like 2 weeks and then all this hit.
Yeah.
Because number one, you'd lose all the money on the stocks.
Yeah,
just sitting
inventory,
there.
Yeah.
Just sitting there. You wouldn't know where the hell your business is going to go.
Yes.
At that point. So you know what? Take the longer time. Take the pause.
Yeah.
And then, we can ease into our business. Okay. Oh, let's figure out what we do right. Okay.
Yep.
We do this right. Let's focus on this.
Yeah.
Oh, we suck at this. All right. Let's squash that. Like, we'll just keep focusing on what we do good.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, hey, to everybody listening out there that this is your first time tuning in and you've just listened to us ramble on for about 8 minutes, but I'll let you know something that you probably don't know. This is a sports show.
It's a sports show. Yes, it is.
And this is actually a big day for us, man.
Yes.
This is
It's a milestone.
It's a milestone kind of show. This is episode 50 of the fan club BLITZ.
Yes.
I'm honored to be here.
It's also episode 1 with the new cast of characters.
Yes.
Well, I mean, me and Groby have been here for, since the beginning, and we're trying to get Rachel to, join in on the podcast at some point because
She'll chime in. We got to point a microphone at
Yeah.
her, though, because sometimes she'll chime in and it's like, hey, wait, that was brilliant. We
because
missed it.
I think we could use a female voice
Maybe,
on the
sure.
fan club BLITZ, and
Yes.
also the voice of a Giants fan.
Yes.
Why not?
Yeah, kind of, the ice cubes in the tequila.
That's right. But
I've converted her a bit, though. A bit.
yeah, as long as
Hey, you wore a black and silver jersey to the game. You wore a car jersey.
well, they were playing the Jets.
Well, you could have worn just black, or could have no. You I want one of your jerseys. I want one of your jerseys.
Personally,
Please.
Personally, you should have just wear a Giants jersey.
Yeah.
I did. I bought her a Mark Bavaro Giants jersey,
All right.
and and she has gotten compliments on that from Giants fans, even
Sure.
coming in. Like, now that's a jersey.
Yeah.
That's who we're talking about.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's episode 50, man. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, what do we do? What do we do to make this show, make episode 50, something special, right?
Controversy?
Well, hey, not even that. But look, we've had some great. The history of this show has been kind of all over the map. But we've done some great stuff, man. We went into a Kansas City Chiefs bar.
Yes.
That was a great episode. We've done, we've had Dallas Cowboy fans on here that wouldn't stop talking.
Yeah.
We've talked to Miami Dolphins fans. We've multiple Raiders booster clubs and
Yes.
black hole chapters.
Yes.
And, but we are in a kind of a transitional period in the show. We're Raiders fans, but we're, moving in a little bit of a different direction. Just
Sure.
so that I don't want to just be another Raiders podcast, which
Yeah.
is kind of what we turned into, but was
Yeah.
never our plan.
No.
So,
Our plan was always fan clubs.
yeah, our plan was fan clubs, booster clubs.
Yeah, of
and,
every team.
Of every team, Obviously, it's going to be Raiders heavy because that's who we know. And that's kind of, that's our thing. But we've gotten to a point to where we decided, hey, let's veer off in a different direction.
Yes.
Again, you're still going to get a lot of Raiders stuff.
Sure. Yes, you are.
Shows hosted by 3 Raiders fans.
Yeah.
Well, but everything will just have that Raiders flavor to it.
Sure.
Being Raiders fans, we're a little different.
Right,
Yeah.
we are a little different.
We are a little different than it, so everything's going to have a certain
Yes.
flavor to the conversation.
Right.
It just
Yeah.
we're not like Michael Kay talking in New York, or and any of the ESPN sportscasters on radio.
Right.
We're going to have a different little flavor. We're going to have a little. It's a little punk rock. Being a
yes.
Raiders fan, it's a little punk rock
It's a
sports
little-
perspective.
Yeah.
It's a little punk rock. It's a little
Yeah.
hardcore. It's a little hardcore hip hop. It's a little punk rock. It's a
Yes.
little outlaw.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what separates Raider Nation from.
What's that noise, man?
I don't know, and I don't see it registering on the screen. But
I'm not hearing anything on my end except for the air conditioner over here.
Nah, there's
That's
something
it.
going.
Is there a,
Sounds like something's
there's a little
rattling.
something?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It is registering on the screen.
Yeah.
So sorry, people. We don't know what that noise is.
Yeah, we have no idea.
Don't know where it's coming from. Don't know what's going on with it. Hopefully it goes away.
Yeah.
That's all we can say.
Yes.
But anyway, so episode 50, right? So we're in this kind of weird world right now, and there's a lot of, there's peaceful protests, there's riots, there's a divisiveness in the country.
A
There's-
a big divisiveness.
and
Definitely.
You think?
Yes.
and it's unfortunate that it's like, this is just my opinion. So I'm not representing everybody on the show. I'm definitely not representing everyone on Murph's Fan Cave network. But from my viewpoint, it's unfortunate that this divisiveness seems to be being encouraged from, the people that are supposed to be the leaders.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes. That's to me, this whole thing, the whole thing reeks of hypocrisy.
Right.
Because it's like, no. Everybody's got a hair trigger right now, no matter what you say. They just want to twist your words to do everything, and that's not right. Now,
All right,
I'm not
wait,
talking.
wait,
Now,
before-
I'm not talking about Drew Brees by any means. I'm not talking about him.
No.
Because for that idiot to sit there and say he didn't know what Kaepernick was protesting and why he was kneeling and thought it was about the flag, he's an idiot. Because he's been in football long enough. He should know why the guy was kneeling.
Right.
And
And then it had,
But before they tear us apart, let's just put it out there. Everybody's an idiot. We are not right or left. They are all idiots with an agenda.
Yes.
We're going to debate a little bit of common sense around here and throw it into our flavor of what we're talking about with the Raiders.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's all absurd.
Look,
It's all absurd.
I'm just living in a world right now where I'm actually like, I'm turning on like, mainstream media or looking on Twitter or looking on Facebook, and here I am, a 48-year-old man who's lived, through all kinds of stuff in this country and in this world, and I'm reading statements being issued from George W. Bush, going, see, now that sounds like a leader.
It's
That's
frightening.
what a
How
president's
frightening
supposed to
is that?
sound like.
That man, he made sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's
and how much back in the day. Geez, what a let's just paraphrase it as a mess.
Right,
but
what a mess.
The guy is making a statement that is what you would look for in a president.
Yes.
In a leader.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
What is
basically,
that
hey,
damn
everybody, let's rein it in
Yeah.
here. Yeah, we got some issues here. We have some big time issues.
Yes.
Let's work together. We'll
Yeah.
band together. We'll
Yes.
do this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Slow it down a
I
bit.
mean-
let's see where we're at. Let's talk about that.
I mean, when you got
Yeah.
I mean, you got bunker bitch.
when you got generals and admirals and stuff coming out, going,
Mattis. You're
Mad
going to
Dog.
slam Mad Dog Mattis.
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. And so I would just
But I will state the one media buzzword we will not use is the new normal.
no.
We will not use that term.
No.
That term is BS. It means nothing.
Well, I mean, I'm an old we're all old punk rock and
Yes.
metalhead and hardcore guys.
We're a
And
little old school.
I've been social distancing from people for most of my life. Outside of going to shows, which even then, it's like I always get I'm like, oh, it's going to be a great show. And then 5 minutes before it's time to leave, I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. What am I doing to myself?
Why did I agree to go to this?
Why I don't want to go to this.
Jesus Christ, it's 2 a.m. What the hell?
Is that a-hole going to be there? I know he is. Jesus. I love Gabe Zander, but I don't want to talk to him for 4 hours. I can only handle these people in 5-minute doses.
Yes.
But anyway, I decided, and I got no disagreement, that what we would do for episode 50 was a little bit of a history lesson on, because a lot of people out there, they act like that social or civil activism within sports all started with Colin Kaepernick.
No, it did not.
And there's a history that goes back to the 1800s of professional athletes using their celebrity and using their status to make social, civil, and political statements.
Yes.
And some of it has actually done a lot to change the world.
Sure.
So, we thought for this episode we would kind of dive into some of that stuff and actually get, read a little bit of history out there. We're not going to spend, an hour on each story. We'll just kind of briefly touch on some of these things that we found to be significant. And, yes, a lot of them are going to be Raiders related, not all of them, but the legacy and the history of the Oakland Raiders and of Al Davis
is of diversity and inclusion.
It truly speaks to everything.
Yes.
And it's in the middle of the civil rights movement, even prior to the civil rights movement. I mean,
Quite possibly
Al
the most
was
diverse
pushing it
sports
forward.
organization in the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
No
Yes.
question. No question.
Yeah.
No question.
So, so there will definitely be some. You can't talk about, civil and social political activism and fighting for civil rights in sports without talking about the Raiders.
That's right.
No,
You
it's
can't.
impossible.
You can't do it without mentioning Al Davis.
People would like to, but facts remain.
Yes.
Yeah, no, the facts are there.
Yeah.
So, but we're going to cover a lot of stuff: Olympics, tennis, all kinds of stuff that went on with athletes to promote change in the world.
Yes.
Progress. You got to move forward. We can't all keep hating each other.
Exactly. That doesn't work for anybody.
And then we've got a guest coming on that we're going to talk to who
That really knows
and
what it's about.
He's not a sports player, but
No.
but
Boy, does he have perspective.
but we're in a moment now to where it's not one you don't to say Black Lives Matter, to stand up for civil rights, to say, look, this country has not lived up to its promises that it made, after the Civil War, even going farther back, promises that it made to Native Americans. We as a society have not lived up to all of those promises.
No.
Nope.
And so, we got to
and also point out, we're not saying it's anybody's fault.
Right.
We're not, blaming one group over another.
No.
But you can't you look at the history. We can't scream at the history where we're at now.
Yeah.
No.
And that's where a lot of the perspectives coming in. Well, this happened 150 years ago. It did. That's horrible. It sucked. I hate that. But we're here now.
Right. We're here.
We're here right now. We can't do anything about that.
You can't. Exactly. Yeah. You can't do anything about stuff that happened 100 years ago.
No.
Or 50 years ago, or 10 years ago, or you can't do anything.
But as Mackey said, we're here now.
Yes.
Yeah. This is now.
Yes.
What do we do about now?
Yes.
How do we move forward? Mm-hmm. Right? We can't correct the sins of our fathers, right? We can't correct things that have happened in the past. We're not giving California back to Mexico.
Or Texas.
Right. And was it an unjust war? Yes. It was a war based on manifest destiny with our own, but
we're filled with unjust wars at this point. They were absolutely absurd. We wiped out a nation of American Indians at this point, just pushing them. All right, here, go here now. Go here now.
Right.
You don't want to go here now? Okay, we're going to kill you all. Okay.
Yeah, go land. So now, all right, now you're in the desert.
Yeah.
Grow some
here we
food.
Go. Yeah. Grow some food in the desert.
But it's so we have a guest coming on here in a few minutes that is a black man.
Yes.
Who struggles with the fact that, we're constantly turning on the TV and seeing unarmed black men killed by not only police, but also by, Bubba and his son and whatever else, and then nothing ever seems to change. I think that's a big frustration that I can't really speak. I'm not a black guy, but
No, we don't have the experience.
Right.
We do not have the experience.
But this,
I think from our perspective, I think we can see it a lot more than a lot of people can.
Sure.
Just from being who we are.
Right.
But we don't know it.
Our upbringings and stuff. Yes.
Right.
We don't know it though. We don't know.
No, we can't.
Yeah. There's no way we can.
And it's like,
understand
okay, I grew up in the ghetto.
Yeah.
But I'm still. I was able to walk away and go to another neighborhood without anybody giving me any crap.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it is what it is. It sucks, but we can't put on that shoe. So, but not only is he a black man who's frustrated with all of that, he's also a retired law enforcement.
Yes.
And so he brings that perspective to the table too, and he's a Raiders fan. So we're going to
that's a plus. It's a plus.
So we're going to talk to him about the new Raiders club he's got started up down in Trenton, New Jersey, and all that stuff.
Very nice.
But we'll also get into some of the social and political insights.
Yes.
And what is a retired police officer who is also a person of color, right? That's a perspective that we really don't get to hear a lot.
Yeah, there's not many perspectives like that floating around out in the media world.
No, because everybody just wants to,
they
it's
want
one side or it's the other side.
Yeah, they're not seeking out people that have both perspectives.
There is no discussion whatsoever, and that is the.
Right, there is no discussion. But also I listened to and we have a voicemail from Q Dog actually.
Okay.
But I listened to the most recent episode of Raiders Fan Radio, And Q-Dog made a statement on there, which was poignant, man. You know, and I urge everybody to take a look around, right? Look at your friends, look at your social circle, look at your workplace. Does everybody look like you? Because if they do, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Yes, it is.
You know, get out in the world and experience people that may come from a different background, that may come from a different culture, that you know you can share with each other.
Absolutely.
And you might be able to understand where another person may be coming from or how another person might be feeling. And maybe they'll understand where you're coming from or where you're feeling. Stop yelling at each other on Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah, number one.
Actually, this makes me think.
Raider Nation needs to take that to heart, too.
Yeah.
Stop yelling at each other on Twitter. Stop making stuff up to fit your agenda.
This is ridiculous.
Stop all this stuff.
We have
you know it's a lie, and you're just typing it in there anyway, just to start problems. Stop.
We have a podcast. We let us make stuff up. We do it very well.
Yes,
right?
we're professionals at making things up.
You know, but seriously, stop screaming at each other. Stop insulting each other and threatening each other with violence and all that.
Davis didn't speak fast enough.
You're going
to talk about the Davis family as far as diversity. Please,
but
cut it the hell out.
You're never going to bring anybody into any sort of open dialogue and discussion by, you know, threatening to stomp on their head on Facebook.
No, the second you say that,
or
somebody's
making stupid knee-jerk statements,
right? Or calling somebody a racist because they voted for somebody you didn't, or whatever.
Yeah.
You're not going to. That's no way to have an open dialogue and actually impact any kind of change. Maybe actually look at what somebody says and respond in a way that, you know, makes them go, oh, you know what? I didn't realize that when I refer to people as animals that it comes across as being racist.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure.
They may not understand, you know, but have a conversation with people.
I've actually tried to tone down my perspective lately because, to be honest, like, aside from all the COVID and everything else and just the general madness of being stuck on a daily basis and not being able to do much, I was going nuts. But I was like, all right, let me try a different perspective. Yeah, I'd put something out there to make fun of the guy, and you'd get the typical response back. Best ever.
Yeah.
So now I took this perspective of just being like, okay, all right, I respect that you said that, but why?
Yes.
But why? What makes you feel?
Yes. Ask why.
The best ever.
Yes. Ask questions. Ask why.
It's never. Of course, you'd be shocked. It has never advanced to anything productive whatsoever.
Right,
but I've tried to do the different.
Of course.
Okay, like, tell me, what is it you see on your side,
right,
that says best ever?
Right.
Tell me.
Yeah, let's have a discussion.
Yeah, let's have a conversation about it.
But you're not going to change my mind by calling me names.
No,
and I'm not going to change your name by calling you
names. Liberal.
Right.
You know what? And I put this out there even on one of these discussions. I'm like, you know what? I have never said to any of you people in the social media world whether I am left or right.
Right.
I've never said it. I criticize an individual.
Yes.
But
that's the only thing you can do.
Yeah. So you know what? You blast and just say liberal. All right. I'm kind of dismissing you. Because unless you can, can you explain that perspective of why you're automatically saying liberal?
Right.
All right. What's been done good? Why do you think this? It discombobulates everybody.
Yeah.
It really, they don't even know what to say at this point.
Yeah.
Because they're so entrenched in the positions on both.
You see, I have a buddy of mine. I bust his chops and call him a staunch goose-stepping conservative. But that's just me. He's not really one of those. He's a really big conservative, but he's not digging the Republican Party now. Mm-hmm. And he came up with this thing for coffee, and where on the cup it says, let's have a conversation. And through his, research that he did with this stuff, he realized that, conservatives, liberals, libertarians, Green Party people, he realized everybody has basically about 90% common ground with everybody else.
Sure.
Absolutely. There's one or two things they disagree with.
Right.
And to his perspective is if you agree with 90% of what you and another person are saying, why does that, 10% of what you don't agree with take precedence over everything else? And he did it. He, did his research, and it's just he can't figure out why. How two people can like the same things, go to the same places, do all the same stuff, but when it comes to politics, they're like, oh, well, I hate you because of this.
I had a conversation with a guy the other day he has basically for years driven me nuts. Very I can't even say right, because very extreme religion. Mm-hmm. Extreme religion. Like literally, Bible, rule of law, that's it. I don't want to hear anything else.
Yes.
I took a step back, and I'm like, you know what? I hear what you're saying. I don't think we're too far apart about all this stuff. Like, and I'm not going to do what a lot of people do, where they just say, "Shut your mouth, man."
Yeah.
Just
right.
No, let's hear each other. I'm probably not going to agree with you, but at least let's hear your perspective. I'll tell you my perspective.
Right.
Likely not going to agree. But it's a conversation, man. It's a conversation.
Yes, that's why my buddy did this, to start conversation.
Yeah, it's just a conversation.
He did this towards the end of George Bush's presidency, going into Obama's. Mm-hmm. It wasn't anything recent. He did this, you're talking 10, 12, 15, 16 years ago he was doing this stuff. He was like, we need conversation.
Yeah.
And I know if this guy actually went somewhere where there was, all liberal crowd, they would all point at him and yell Nazi. And this guy's the farthest thing from the truth.
No, but that's it. We can't just keep pointing the finger at each other.
Labels. It's just labels.
Yes.
That's it.
All right. I think we're going to take a break because we've got an interview coming up here in a few minutes.
We have a guest.
And then we're going to, from there, see where that conversation goes, man.
Yeah.
Actually, before we take the break, I'm going to mention, and I think I may try to con her to speak in. No, she's going to shake her head. Rachel grew up. She has a blended family, Puerto Rican, half side of the family. And of course, big shock. She's a Mick otherwise, but that's a whole different perspective. This is what she's grown up with.
Right.
Yes.
She's grown up with the different sides of this and have seen it.
And if you look at Rachel right now, you would swear she wasn't mixed with anything.
No.
No, I mean...
No.
All right. Let's take a break.
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling this call might be pretty intense, too.
Yeah, this is all going to get intense.
Also, we got to check our beer.
Yes.
The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song, he speaks.
Yo, it's Splatterhead.
And Groby.
And during football season, you can find us at the Irish Cottage Inn,
home of the New Jersey chapter of the Black Hole Fan Club.
And a bristling.
The Irish Cottage Inn is located at 602 Route 23 North in Hamburg/Franklin, New Jersey.
It's on the line.
It's on the border. Only we're over the line.
We're over the line.
So come on down, have a few beers with some Raiders fans.
Yeah.
All right, checking out.
And Raider Nation out.
Raider Nation is never out.
Is never out.
All right, we're back from break.
We got a guest.
We have a guest on. Who are we talking to today?
This is Clarence Stockton.
Clarence Stockton, longtime Raider fan.
Huge Raider fan, man.
From South Jersey.
Yep.
Central Jersey, there's a
yeah.
That's right.
Wait. I've seen Clarence on our page. Clarence on our page. This is good.
He's from the mythical place called Central Jersey.
That's right.
we dress better than North and South.
All right. We'll take it. So we're having this is episode 50 of the Fan Club Blitz, and we're taking a detour today, and we're not just talking about the Raiders. We're talking about what's going on in the world today, specifically with I'm not one of those guys that's going to be bashing cops and putting all cops under one umbrella.
Absolutely not.
And but I'm also not one of those guys that's going to sit back and go, listen, racism doesn't exist, because I have eyes, and we talked a little bit offline, and actually I'm a white guy, and I did grow up in the hood, so I have a little bit of experience with seeing the situation there. However, as I said on the show, because I'm a white guy, I was able to just walk away from the hood and go into any other neighborhood I wanted to and blend in and assimilate. And not everybody that I grew up with had that opportunity or that chance. And we're also talking a little bit about the history of social and political activism inside of sports, because a lot of people now, they no matter what side of the argument they land on, it's like Colin Kaepernick started social activism in sports, and it's been going on since the 1800s.
My God,
there's and it's deep within the Raiders' history.
Absolutely.
But tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
I'm a retired law enforcement officer.
All right.
The reason I became a police officer and pursued it was in 1988 and then 1989. My basketball coach and my cousin lost their lives in custody at the police department that I went on to work for.
Wow.
So that's why I pursued that. And in the interim, in all of that time, it's like, because people don't realize that sometimes some shootings are good. You have to shoot the guy, but sometimes you don't. In the last 20 years, my wife's best friend was shot by a police officer that I know. So that's a bone of contention, because she loves her friend. My friend shot him. So what do we say? We weren't there, but it's horrible.
Right.
And he may have been quick with the gun. We don't know. So she lost her friend. 3 years ago, a kid that I watched grow up in my town shot one of my friends in front of his nephew, who was also on the force, and killed him. But there were no riots or anything, because it was a situation where the guy was going through some psychological problems, and it happened. But this young kid that shot him, there's no malice in his whole life. His family is a family that likes black people and white people, Spanish people, green people, blue people. So there's no malice. So that's what I've dealt with in my career as a police officer. And like I told you guys off air, I grew up in a mixed town. It's a predominantly white town. So I've seen racism. I know a bad actor when I see one. Hamilton Township, New Jersey had one of the largest registered Klan populations in the 1950s. And nobody moved, so they're still here.
Sure.
Yeah. No, we have that.
They don't wear hoods. They wear suits and ties. And it's just like gangbangers. They're evolving. Gangbangers aren't wearing their colors either. They're wearing suits and ties too. So people can't say, oh, it's not here. No, you just don't see it because it's a different angle.
Right. We have a rich history in a local town up by us that's, a rich Klan history. And people want to ignore the fact that there's still racism there going, that was in the past, but those people didn't move.
I was going to say
they raised their children there,
and their children live there. And what environment did they grow up in that you think that they didn't? That now they suddenly have these great progressive ideals.
In our area in northwestern New Jersey, it's a really odd thing. Truthfully, it might as well be at times the worst of the Deep South.
No, yeah.
It really is. Like, that perspective really hangs around here, and some of them are damn outspoken about it. Like, they don't care just being in this area. It's a very strange thing, because you look at the rest of Jersey. They think they're part of the Deep South in the 50s.
Sure.
They really do. In this area, they really do. And that's part of the fight for them is we don't want change. We want things the way we want it.
Because there's no influx of new ideas.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Any influx gets smacked down.
We've always done it like that.
Yep.
Well, that doesn't mean it's always wrong, always right. It's just you've always done it like that, and nobody has said that's not a good idea. That's the problem.
I agree 100%, man. And
a perfect example on how people say racism isn't this, racism isn't that. Up until a couple years ago, certain ethnic groups of Europe were changing letters off of their names to blend in.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Italians were taking letters off. Russians were taking letters off from wherever. They would take that letter off. And what people don't realize, as a black man, I don't care how I spell my name.
You're still a black man.
I'm a black man. In front of a Klan rally, guess what? He don't want to hear it.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's...
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And that's the thing, how the only way this changes, there's only one demographic that can change racism. That's white men.
No.
Because rich white
absolutely.
men
Absolutely.
only listen to rich white men.
Completely.
Middle-class white men converse with black men, but they still listen to rich white men. And the poor white man is only going to listen to a rich white man.
No.
So me saying stop hitting me isn't going to stop until one of you guys says, yo, stop hitting it.
I agree 100%.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You know, and people
we
don't...
can only turn our other cheek so long before we throw a right hook ourselves, and then we're the bad guy.
I agree, man. But then how, you know, let's talk about, you know, things that we've seen and that I've spoke about is, you know, I understand. I think that it's never the right time in this country for white men to sit around and tell black men when, how, or in what way they can express their anger, right? I have no right to even suggest that I would have that position to tell.
No, not at all.
To tell black men that, oh, you're protesting inappropriately, or, you know, you're expressing your anger in the wrong way. Like, I'm surprised because I have a pretty deep understanding of history. I'm a big history fan. I'm surprised that, you know, this entire damn country hasn't been burned down by angry black men many years ago.
Yeah.
Because
seriously,
you know,
really? Yes.
You know the main reason? Because we know the full brunt will come on us.
Right.
They all this burning and looting, that's ludicrous. It's crazy, right?
Right.
But the last time the Bruins won the Stanley Cup, they burned that shit up in Pittsburgh. I mean, Boston.
No, exactly. I mean, if you look at
Vancouver lost the Stanley Cup and they destroyed the city.
I mean,
and that's Canada. They're nice people. They're always nice.
Nobody was yelling at the Eagles fans when they won the Super Bowl.
No,
and they rioted and burned shit down.
Yeah, they just did it.
And it's the double standard.
It is.
This is what I tell people. Okay, fine. If you can't understand me having a way with how me treating bad, just think if it was your daughter and some chauvinistic man wouldn't get up off of her neck, as in always riding her, working on. Would you want that?
No.
You wouldn't want that.
No. Being the dad of a daughter, not a and we all are. Everybody here on this podcast is. Forget that.
Think of the situation of how it would affect you. Think of that black kid that is your son's friend.
Yeah.
Right? Now think of this. This is what I thought of the other day. Everybody is unsafe in a bad neighborhood. Black, white, whatever. I'm from the burbs. There's certain parts of certain towns I'm not going to. They can smell it on you. And they might not be bad people, but they know you're not from there. And they're like, what are you here to do?
Right.
But a black kid can't run around his own neighborhood.
No.
I'll get shot by two yahoos.
Yeah.
That's what the young black kid grows up with. I say, hey, don't go over to such and such. Don't go to that town.
Yeah. Don't jog over here. Don't jog over here because two rednecks are going to come out. Yep.
Going to come out. Don't go shopping at that mall. But I got money. Doesn't matter.
And they, you know, when you can't feel safe in any neighborhood, that's rough, man.
But when you can't feel safe in a $500,000 house neighborhood,
right?
And, you know, that's a problem.
It's a big problem. And
I had a lady call the cops on her paperboy just because she didn't want to pay him. People weaponize the cops. She said, "Oh, there's a strange black male at my door. He's trying to get in. Boom, boom, boom." So we get to the house. She doesn't answer now, all right? So we ask the neighbor, "Hey, you see a black kid around here about 15 years old?" "Oh yeah, the paper boy."
Yeah.
So now we're banging on her.
The paper boy.
Don't do that. Just pay your bill. And this was when there was paper boys.
So
You know?
we like I agree with you 100% that like, look, you're right. Poor white guys are typically only going to listen to rich white guys, right?
Yeah, that's how we got 45 in office.
Yeah, exactly. And
Chuck, I can't believe that after everything I see all the time.
and we you know,
Jokers with no teeth don't want health and dental plans.
Exactly.
That's right. And
exactly.
And it's
Mountain Dew mouth.
and there's
Mountain Dew mouth.
You don't have anything.
but it's real easy because they've given the dialogue that has been, you know, created in this country in the conversation has given these poor white guys an enemy, right? It's always somebody else's fault. So they're more eager to fight over the crumbs that fall off the rich man's table, right? And the smaller the crumb, the more violent the fight.
Yes.
And
I'll tell you just what it is. I'll tell you what the thing is. It goes back to slavery, right?
right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, overseers
Absolutely.
report, and they say, hey, don't let, and slavery was about to be over, Civil War, all that stuff. Whenever slaves would revolt, they say, hey, you're still one of us. Don't let them get what we have,
Yeah.
right? Now, you're only one of them during those times because you ain't going to Mar-a-Lago with Trump. He ain't letting you in, bro. You ain't got enough money. You're not going to Kennebunkport. You're not going to Cape Cod. You're not going to those places. But you're voting on some fake ideals that you don't believe in. You don't follow them, right?
Right.
And then in the end, these are the same guys that are going to screw you over. They don't want to pay you more. Don't blame the Mexican. 'Cause
No.
if you can't get a job over somebody that can't read and write his own language, bro, that's your parents' problem.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Nobody can come to this country and get a job from me. I can read and write.
Yeah.
If this guy can get your job, that's your parents' problem.
And not to mention, I have never met, and we live in an area that's a lot of just poor, you know, white people. That
It's basically all poor white people.
Yeah,
Seriously,
it is.
all poor white people.
and I've never met one of them that has ever had their job threatened or taken away
No.
by a Mexican guy.
No.
Ever.
Nope.
No,
They hate them, though.
They've never even seen Mexicans.
exactly.
Most of them.
They hate them anyway.
Yeah.
There is no threat of illegal immigrants from Mexico taking anybody's job in this particular area.
No.
They hate them anyway.
Well-
they just hate them.
Bro, I tell you, I've never worked a hard day in my life, so they can't get any job. I don't want that,
Yeah.
Right.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I tell you what, you want to keep the Army full, tell them, hey, Jose, if you want to come here, you'll go in the Army. Grandma and grandpa and your mother and father can come. You're going to give us 5 years in the Army. They'll do it. Why? Because they love grandma.
Exactly. Yeah.
Third world countries love God more than anybody.
Yeah.
They have, and they know God's going to take care of it. They believe God's going to take care of it. Where people here are complacent. And people follow the Bible. They say they follow the Bible, but they don't follow the key verses.
Oh, no, they
Like
don't.
Jesus
Yeah,
said,
they don't
love
follow
one
it.
another. Love one another like I have loved you. Where's that go at?
Yeah.
Nobody does that.
No. I mean,
You know? Love one. They don't care about that.
no, and that's
No, they don't.
You know,
They don't.
The premise of every major religion in the world is basically can be boiled down to one simple thing. If there is a thing that you would not want done to you, don't do that thing to somebody else. And everything else around your religion is just gift wrap.
Yep.
It really is. That's the moral code that everybody should be living by,
Yes.
man. If there is something that you would not want done to you, how dare you do that to somebody else?
Seriously, take all of the 10 Commandments, which actually, get technical, there were more, whatever, and it's not even History of the World, Mel Brooks. There were more. But put them into one, and that's the bottom line. What you don't want done to you, don't do to anybody else.
Yes.
That's the bottom line.
So
100%.
So how do we, because I've seen things like, a police officer getting run over in the street in New York the other night, and that kind of stuff is, completely.
Hey, if they catch that guy, guess what? Well, they don't have the electric chair anymore in
Right.
a lot of states. Hey, he got to go to jail.
Yep.
Yeah. But I mean,
Forever. Because malicious is malicious.
exactly.
And I tell people, all the time, because I talk to all walks of life. That cop is his badge number, and that's what cops need to do. It's like your name, your family name. That's your badge number and your family name on you being a jerk off.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So a lot of these guys, they have a hate for the cops because it's been building up 20 years, 30 years.
Sure.
Same cop comes in from the time the kid's 5 years old till he's 20, locking somebody up in his house. Now, sometimes the Joker needs to be locked up, but other times it's like, why are you just bothering them? This kid is watching he's hating you. You're putting a hammer on. But part of that with policing comes from cops not being from where they're from.
So how do we change that? How do we change? Because I understand you're 100% right. Racism ends when white men start actually stop being racist and start acknowledging not only history but acknowledging the current situation, right? Because
I'll tell you a problem with the police department. They worry about how close to 100 you get on the written exam, but don't worry about where you are on the moral exam.
Sure.
How you feel about people. So a guy some guys just aren't great test takers. If he gets an 80, that's good enough because he might be morally correct. The biggest problem in L.A. when Chief Gates was out there, he was hiring hellbillies from Arkansas and Mississippi to come patrol all black neighborhoods. Well, they're coming from Klanville. You know what they're bringing.
And they were forming their own gangs within the police department out there.
Yeah, because they grow up hating, and people don't realize. It's like they talk about black on black crime. You only kill what's next to you. You've never seen a polar bear fight a tiger,
right?
So see, when they throw that stat out there, it's crazy because in China it's Chinese on Chinese crime, and I know in Norway blonde on blonde crime is off the chart. Yeah, because they're all blonde hair.
Right. And
everybody does.
The percentages are right there. You fight what you live next to. That's what you see. So as soon as they stop trying to make excuses, then they can fix the problem. City of Trenton's right next to me. In the 70s and 80s, all the factories left. The state, the governor was in with our mayor. So he moved all the state offices to Hamilton. The mayor owned all the land. So he became a millionaire off of that. Now, people live where they work. So you take all the state offices out of Trenton, put them in Hamilton Township, all the factories left, nothing filled in. You've got a 70-year spiral going on. And then all the steel plants started leaving from Fairless Hills.
That's the history of the black urban situation that we still live in.
Yeah. This is a good one. I just read this earlier. I knew about this when I watched the series. There was just a series on HBO, Watchmen, based off the comic from way back when. They touched on, in Oklahoma, the Black Wall Street that was destroyed.
Oh, in Tulsa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
People murdered. And this little blurb made a great point. People didn't realize that actually happened. Right. They integrated history into the show. Yes, they killed everybody that was prosperous in what they considered Black Wall Street.
Yeah, they burned down all their businesses.
They burned
down
everything
banks,
down.
Everything.
Yeah, and simply because they were black.
Yes.
And people came and watched.
Yes.
Yes.
And they clapped.
Yeah.
It was an audience for this.
I'll give you two more towns.
Absolutely.
Pierce City, Missouri.
Okay.
And Monet, Missouri. Both of those towns, like they call it monetizing a town in Missouri. They killed all the blacks. Did the same thing in Pierce City. And in Pierce City, there's still people saying, yeah, we got no black people here. We're proud of it. Blah, 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 blah. Missouri's a dirty place. Now, those places are each 90 miles either way from Ferguson. So you know what kind of people are running around.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
See, so it's like it's there. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge it. It's like if I tell you that white guys did something bad in 1700, I know you didn't do it because you'd be a millionaire because you'd be old as hell and you have all the answers. But don't act like it didn't happen. Let's not let it happen again. You can't just have people growing up hating people they've never seen. Well, you can't have people blaming people. I had to transport a skinhead one time. I said, you live in Ventnor. There's no black people that live there. But I hate you guys anyway. So I never did nothing to do. I said, what'd you get locked up for? I said, who locked you up? You know, white guy. I said, why are you mad at me? I'm taking him to court, right? Comes out of court. You know, nobody could not want a McDonald's French fry. So I ran right through the drive-thru, got some fries. That joker was smelling those fries. He said, oh, man. I said, you want one? Yeah. So he goes to reach. I said, don't reach your hand in here. You're going to eat these fries out of my hand. So I gave it to him, and he ate them. I said, now, if you die in the morning, you were right. You ain't gonna die. You want some more fries? He said, yeah. I said, exactly.
There you go, man. But that's the thing is we said it earlier, man. Take a look around, and if all your friends look like you, that's a problem.
Yes. And think of this. The first time you cut school is probably with somebody that looks like you. The first time you get high is with somebody that looks like you. So how you blame somebody else? I tell these black kids that. I say, who you get high with the first time? Oh, my boy, Raheem. Well, then, how you mad at the cop for catching you? You shouldn't have cut school with Raheem. Oh, yeah, I didn't think of that. People don't think about what you do.
True.
And see, my parents knew. Hey, they said, hey, if the cops get you, my dad was always, if the cops get you doing something wrong, you better hope they keep you because you will not be on this earth much later. Never did anything wrong. I believe my dad.
There you go.
So people, hey, if you instill in your kids to do right, 9 times out of 10 they're going to do right. But
I agree.
If you teach them to hate, they're going to hate, bro.
Yeah, and that's where it has to start with everybody, man.
Yeah, it has to start with parents.
It's got to start at home.
Yeah, parents, families, has to start there, man.
And some people don't even realize that their kids are listening to their conversations, right? And some people, I talk because of the community that I live in, you know, you wouldn't be surprised, but I can tell by the conversation that we're having. But most people would be very surprised at how somebody will just throw some racist crap out there into the conversation when they're talking to me because I'm just another white guy. You know, I'm a white guy covered in tattoos, and then all of a sudden they'll just throw some racist nonsense out at me. And for years, it was like, how do I react to that? What do I do? Do I punch this guy in the mouth? Or, you know, do I get into this debate when I'm standing there with him and 6 of his biker buddies or 6 of his redneck friends?
Exactly.
Like, how do I react to it? So I learned a strategy that worked for me, and I taught this to myself. I just came up with it on the spur of the moment when I was getting my hair cut one day, and this guy started throwing a bunch of racist crap at me, comparing black people to monkeys. As he's cutting my hair right now, I'm like, well, this dude's got.
For one, he's a hairdresser.
I'm like, this guy's got scissors in his hands, right? Mm-hmm. But I said, you know what, man? My wife's black, and I have 2 black kids at home, and I learned right then that when you throw that at somebody and the look on their face and how they try to backpedal out of everything that they just said. And my wife's not black, and I don't have black kids at home, but I can throw that at these guys now when they just like assume.
They don't know. To us.
They just assume that I'm one of the guys.
Sure.
And so now, no matter what it is, when they start talking about the Mexicans or whatever, I just tell them, hey man, my wife's Mexican, and then they just go, oh, I didn't mean. You didn't mean what? You didn't mean the racist crap that just came out of your mouth?
Yeah.
And guess what else you found out?
What's that?
That dude's a coward, and he doesn't even believe it.
Exactly.
Because if he really believed it and you said that, he'd have said, so what?
Yeah, exactly.
See, they don't even believe in what they talk. They talk it to blame other people.
Yep.
Exactly.
Circle back around. Here, I got one.
Oh my God! Exactly. It's just hammered into their head. It's a reaction. It's just a reaction. No thought, no real passion behind it. Just they backpedal.
Yep.
Like
as soon as they see it.
It's a Mexican thing. Think of this. They're saying they're trying to take jobs. Well, where we're at in Central Jersey, heavy union, a lot of construction going on, right? With these two guys at the bar, oh, these Mexicans taking our jobs, this and that. I said, dude, where are you from? I said, you from Ohio or Indiana, right? He says, yeah. I said, what are you doing here? He says, I'm working on this job. So what are you making an hour, if you don't mind telling me? He tells me. I look at the guy that I know. I said, hey, you're union. You're worried about a Mexican? I said, this motherfucker. Oops, sorry. I said, this guy looks just like you, and you're talking and happy with him. He's the one undercutting you.
He's the one taking your job.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's right. You just got 76er jersey on, or Eagles jerseys on or something, and you just think you're alike. He's the one taking your job. He's probably living at the extended stay. And they look at me, oh, I said, exactly. Stop finding some fake enemy.
And it's not even this. It's not even him taking your job. And if you do live in Kansas or Missouri, and you now no longer have a job at the slaughterhouse, right? Because it's been given to immigrant workers, right? Which we don't have that problem where we live, but they do have that problem there. It's not the immigrants that are taking your job. It's your employer that's taking your damn job.
Sure it is.
That's who's giving it away because he doesn't want to pay you. See, I'm not a genius. My thing is, I think the main reason they don't want the people coming here is so they can pay them there.
Yep.
They move all the factories there for some of this stuff. So it's like they'd rather pay you $20 a week down there than $10 an hour here.
Yep.
And that's people got don't fall for it.
They work cheaper than you. That's the bottom
because
line. They work cheaper than you.
And I'm sorry to break it to you, Bubba, but they work harder than you too.
No, absolutely,
They're gonna work
absolutely.
harder than I ever work. I'm gonna tell you that.
Yep.
Not even a
one of my
question.
Told me to get a position.
Yeah.
You don't want a job, get a position.
Yep.
Raise your kid up like that. You don't have to worry about anybody getting a job.
No, absolutely, man. So listen, it's been awesome to have you on.
Actually, wait. I have a question. Okay, you're retired law enforcement.
Yes.
Okay. Pretty much my whole entire adult life, I've been what you would call a thorn in the cop's side. I've always challenged the police when I was pulled over. Always didn't turn out right. I've taken my share of lumps, bumps, bruises, guns to my head, and this this continued all the way up to I became, involved in the community, suburban dad. I never backed down from that to this day, right? Now, my question is to you. To me, when somebody says white privilege, 95% of white people think that means money, right?
No.
To me, that was my white privilege. I can get away with giving the cops the finger and saying, screw you, you can't do this to me. My question is to you, does that hurt the black community that there's white guys like me constantly giving the cops the finger and poking them in the eye? Does that hurt or does it help?
Has somebody got it on a cell phone?
This never occurred to me until last Sunday. Me and Chuck were doing our other podcast, and we were talking about what's going on. And later on that night, I thought about that. Does that hurt or help?
This is what it does. It agitates us when it gets on film because you have black guys getting thrown on the ground for saying, "Officer, what did I do?" Bam, you're on the ground. You're sitting there MFing the dude.
Yeah. Well, that's what made me think about this.
St. Patty's Day in any town. Come 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, there's some rowdy rough boys out there.
Sure.
Right? They're giving it to the cops. They don't get what the black kid get just from being in the park shooting baskets late at night.
Yes. That's what made me think about this.
You can ride down the Jersey Shore and ride through Bayhead, Manta looking. I don't know if you've ever been down there.
Sure.
That's one of the richest parts and deal and all of that. If you're black, as soon as you hit that city limit, boom, they're on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Now, this is
absolutely
another thing that black people see. Have you ever seen a biker get his ass handed to him on TV?
No.
When they raid those biker joints or mafia clubs, you ever see them jokers getting shot?
Nope.
So how does a kid get shot with a toy gun?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
How does a guy get shot in Ohio, an open carry state, because somebody calls and says he's got a gun? The cop comes in and shoots him. 10 miles up the road, there's 10 yahoos in a Waffle House with their guns on their back.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's what we look at. I know there's black people that are bad, but why are so many good ones getting banged up?
Sure.
And that's what it comes down to because, see, people grow up. There's certain things go on in your house. Like if you grow up next to a cop, cops are good, cops are good. But if the only cop you see is just dragging people all the time, you don't realize it. That's why you got to be a cop from your town. And you have to see if the kid plays sports. Because if you play sports, you're pretty much going to see everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You're going to know, right? You're going to know, okay, well, black people aren't like that. Well, white people aren't like that. Because a lot of black kids have never been out of their 2-block area.
Sure, we don't talk to each other. That's a
People
problem.
don't talk.
Yeah.
People are scared. And all of this stuff, right? I know you got to go. But it's not only black, white. This is a class war. Because if you're poor in Minnesota's Minneapolis is only 3% black. So those white kids out there protesting have been crapped on too. So you got a lot of gated communities. If somebody throws a gated community up, that means you're scum. I don't want you in my community.
Absolutely. It is a huge, I wouldn't say it's an equal percentage, but there is definitely class race war at this point.
Yeah. And that's what people are seeing. They're saying, I'm getting screwed. They can identify with that guy and somebody just not being there for him.
That's one good thing that I can say by looking at the protests that we're seeing now, though, is that they are pretty damn diverse compared to what we've seen.
You know what changed that? People don't realize rap music.
Yeah,
because these kids listen to it and they hear the lyrics.
Yeah,
right. Hey, what was it? Chuck, about 25 years ago, Ice-T, right?
Yeah,
he said it's not the lyrics in the album; it's the fear of the white girl liking the rapper.
Sure, there goes the neighborhood, man.
It's still it goes all the way back to the 1950s, man. The reason that they were scared of rock and roll was the white establishment, mom and dad, the white preacher, the white mayor, their biggest fear was that this music is going to turn all our little white children into.
Yeah,
and that's right. That's
absolutely.
What they say. But guess what? It doesn't, because that word has no color.
Right.
Yep.
Look at the definition.
Exactly. It does not have a color.
The one positive that I see is actually, and I had a conversation about this yesterday. Our kids don't care about all this crap. They really don't.
They care about it, but
But like the baselines of it, they don't care about the race. They don't care about the sexuality.
Right.
They don't care.
No. But see, those people that got all those hate,
they don't see it. They don't see it. Like, exactly. Like they've grown into it. It's us, and it's the generations above us that are still controlling this that care about this stupid nonsense. Like I was worried about with our younger generation, with just the fact that social media, all the crap, whatever. But they don't care about people's differences. They're just people.
Yeah. No, it's true. I do see that. I saw that with my kids. I saw that with all the kids.
Yeah, I've seen it with mine. Yeah. I've seen it with mine. She doesn't care. She doesn't.
But it's
care.
also how you raise them up. If they don't see you smirking and locking the door and walking to the other side of the street, see, a lot of that stuff goes on. The other day I held the door for a guy. He didn't say anything. So somehow or another the door closed faster on him and he tripped. I don't know how that happened. But if I speak to you, speak back. I don't want what you got. I'm making a pretty penny sitting at home every day. So I don't want what you have.
Right.
Treat me with respect. People try to say, when you say Black Lives Matter, they say all lives matter. Well, if all lives matter, why do I feel that Black lives don't matter?
Right. Mm-hmm. If you're using that argument of all lives matter, then you're missing the entire damn point. If all lives mattered, we wouldn't have to say Black Lives Matter.
Exactly.
That's the thing right there.
And it's not Black Lives Matter more. Black Lives Matter. That's it.
Yeah.
But see, if you grow up thinking you're great, thinking that everything is supposed to be yours, thinking you're supposed to have everything, you think somebody else is growing up like that. Well, see, the black statement would really be, if people leave us alone, it would be, leave my black ass alone. Well, that would be our statement. But it's not, because you won't. You pull this kid over and give him a hard time. Before I got on the job, cop pulled me in front of my mother's house. Where are you going? Here. I live here. You live here? What do you do? Sell drugs? No. I went to high school with him, and I'll point to his partner. He tell you where I live. He tell you what I'm about. He tell you what kind of money we got. But I ended up working with that joke. And I confronted him on it a year on the job. I had to get through that first year, so they couldn't suspend me for fighting.
Right.
What do I do? Sell drugs? No. My parents work for the state, buddy.
Wow.
But those are the things they get asked. And sometimes when you see the video, you just see the black guy swelling up. But little things are said. And see, in these smaller towns, like, say, Missouri or West Virginia, you got that football star. Perfect example, Allen Iverson. He's from the poor part of town, but he was dropping buckets and getting touchdowns on them. So they just hated him anyway. So he was in a bowling alley in the other town. You tell me out of all those people you saw, a 160-pound guy throw a chair, and you give him 15 years for that? All the redneck stuff going on in Northern Virginia, and this is the guy? They still fly the battle flag when you cross the Mason Dixon line.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah, and what kills me is, like, this is a big country, right? And there's a lot of these little towns all over the place, and there's a lot of stuff going on that there's not always a cell phone handy. There's not always somebody filming, and I just can't believe that we see when this stuff gets filmed. We see when you got a cop just with his knee on a man's neck, right? We see that.
That's so. How could you watch that? Now that, like I say, hey, that guy pulled back the curtain. As a human
being,
45's been in, they've been pulling back the curtain.
As a human being, you can't look at that and not be disgusted, right? But how much of that is going on across the country that nobody sees?
Exactly, over a $20 bill.
Over a $20 bill, man. And
that's a report.
And that's
a field contact and a report, because you can look at him and tell he's not the one making them. If somebody did give him a counterfeit 20,
right?
Yep.
He could have got that from another store.
Exactly. And
who knows where the hell he got it from?
But here's the thing.
Would we recognize counterfeit bills?
I've gotten counterfeit bills from a bank.
Yeah.
You know, so. I mean, listen, you said before, like sometimes, man, sometimes a joker does need to get busted, right?
But not this.
But he needs to get so your job as a police officer is, if you have evidence that a crime was committed, right, you arrest the person.
Arrest him, charge him.
You cite him, you arrest him, but you are not the judge.
In the back of that truck.
You're not the judge and jury. You're not the executioner. You don't get to decide that a man who had a counterfeit $20 bill allegedly, and it doesn't.
And guess what?
And
the irony is, he's about to get a trial on him killing the man.
Yeah,
he should almost get the same thing. See, but you're going to get a trial in all of this, right? I bet you if they went to him and told his lawyer, "We're going to throw you in an electric chair right now." No, there's due process. Yeah, okay. What about that? You
exactly.
About that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, really.
Exactly. Well, man, we appreciate you coming on, and it's great to have these kind of conversations, and people need to have more of them. And you're always welcome to be on the show whenever you want.
Hey, next time we can talk football.
Absolutely, man.
Sure, man.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, before we let you go, man, tell us about what's going on with, what's your thing going on now? Silver Black Alliance. What's happening?
Silver and Black Alliance. Alonzo Thomas, son of Dr. Death Skip Thomas, reached out to me because he knows I'm a lunatic Raider fan.
Right.
And I said, hey, I want to have a chapter here in Trenton / Mercer County. And come to find out, the Jersey Shore Club that I was in was also an official Silver and Black Alliance club. So I reached out to Terry Russell, who's like Sister Darren Metter. She's like a sister, man. So I said, hey, Terry, you don't like coming down to Belmar all the time for some of the reasons we're talking about now.
Sure.
Between my town and Belmar, there's 22 registered racist groups. So see, we don't like driving that 50 minutes. Look it up.
Yeah.
Between Mercer County, Ocean County, 22 registered racist groups, hate groups. So we don't like making that trip. So she said, I can understand that. I go because I'm good. They pull me over. I show them what I got to show them.
Right.
I'm on my way. But if not, before they see it, they still, some of them guys call filthy teeth. Like, oh, bro, I'm not a bad guy. Well, I don't know. Okay, whatever. So I'll show it to them. But so they let us have that. And it's cool because there's a lot of Raider fans in my area. It makes my wife mad because they're Eagle fans. But it's a blessing. Terry's treated me good. Like, if you guys get the chance, look on YouTube, look at the video, Hey Raider, what's up?
Oh, I've seen it, man.
That's the rap video you did, right?
Yeah, that's my house. That's my house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, I ain't doing bad. The house, the big white house, that's my house. Got a basketball court in the yard, almost full court. So I ain't doing bad. That's why I'm saying, don't be mad at me. I'm doing all right, but I'll work hard. So my sister just passed in February. She was in that video. She became a Raider fan just because her little brother was a Raider fan, and we did that. And that's something that's a good thing that we look at. Now, for me, my dad grew up with Ron Martin and his brothers in Welch, West Virginia, so that's why I became a Raider fan. So being able to have a family member that knew Ron Martin personally, who played with Skip Thomas, it's a perfect juxtaposition to just have a fan club in Trenton, because a lot of Welch, West Virginia moved to Trenton when the coal mine started shutting down.
Yeah.
So that's my history.
All right, man.
Do you have a home base picked yet? Like we have the Irish Cottage. You guys got a home base?
Well, we're going to work on that because we have one of our guys is married to a woman that owns a bar, and he's a Raider fan. And the Hooters in our area, one of my friends is cool with the boss. So we're going to figure it out because we're pretty much, I told Terry, the deal that I had with Terry is, hey, it's the night games that really make it hard. So if anything else, we'll come down to the bar bar anticipation because we love it. That's the best bar in New Jersey for watching football. So we'll be a bar A in the day games and early games, but the night games will probably be something in Mercer County. So I'll let you guys know.
Yeah, keep
so
us
maybe
posted.
we can start, so we can do some things. I'll find out. Because like I said, there's a lot of Raider fans here. So I just always like to make sure everybody's in their comfort zone.
And we all have to meet up at Bar A this season.
No, absolutely. Let's all get together.
I don't think I've ever went to Bar A unless me and my buddies were at the shore and we got all hammered. We were like, we went there.
You can't say that about them. You got to call them Paisan.
Well, I'm born and bred Jersey, man. They're Guidos to me.
I live right next to Chambersburg, New Jersey. I can't. We don't do that. There you go. That's where all the guys live.
Hey, my wife is first generation American, man. She's Italian and Irish, so she doesn't like me saying Guido too often either. But she says it because she's only talking about the guys with the orange spray tans and spiky hair, but who most of them aren't even Italian. And they're not from Jersey either.
No, they're not. It's Staten Island. Staten Island.
Yeah. But, all right, man. It's been great having you on. And
absolutely. This was a great conversation, man. We really appreciate it.
I'm retired, so I got all day.
All right,
do
brother.
Anything you want.
All right, when football rolls on, we'll have you on, man.
Yep, absolutely.
And also, I have a nonprofit. I can't release the name yet because we're just setting it up, and I'll let you guys know it's going to address these things.
All right.
And on June 19th, we're going to have a Zoom. But the boss man is setting it up. Doesn't want to let anything out yet. He doesn't want anybody to steal his thunder. So you'll see, and it'll be a good thing.
When you guys are ready, we're going to promote the hell out of it.
Absolutely.
You got it, man.
Yep.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, man.
All right. Thanks, you, Clarence.
Thank you, Clarence. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, man.
Oh, I will.
Absolutely.
Have a cold one, because that's what we're doing.
Got some Modelo's, the official drink of the Oakland Raiders.
All right. There you go.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you.
All right,
take it easy, bud.
All right. Well, that was a hell of a conversation we had.
Sure.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Your pop filter's all messed up there, Backy.
Yeah.
You got a little. Yeah, that was a hell of a conversation.
There we go.
And people need to have conversations like that more often. And I hope that people listening will continue to have conversations like that and not stay in your own bubble.
You have friends like this guy. Talk to him.
Yeah.
Because his perspective isn't being portrayed in the media or on Facebook or on Twitter. It's not being portrayed. It's one side or the other. This guy is dead smack in the middle.
Yep.
He sees both sides.
Absolutely.
And the media doesn't want you to hear that. They don't want to hear perspective from both sides, from somebody that's in it from both sides. They don't want to. That's not their narrative, man.
It doesn't fit the narrative.
Yeah. So.
But I appreciate that conversation.
Yes.
I appreciate that call.
Yeah.
So
I can't wait till we have the guy on and we talk football.
Exactly.
and we get to go down and drink with the guy and frickin' watch the Raiders, man.
And complain.
And complain about the frickin' Raiders.
Yeah. But let's dive into what we said we were going to talk about. Man.
Okay.
People need to understand Kaepernick did not start protests in sports.
No, he did not.
And
really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really? Because I swear I'm hearing otherwise these days.
Yeah, I don't know.
It says I printed out some stuff, but sports protests go back to way back. We have a date here of January 13th, 532 AD.
Wow.
The
Romans were pissed
at the chariot races. At the chariot races of Constantinople, rival drivers from the Blues and Greens teams asked the Emperor Justinian to pardon two of their followers who'd been condemned to die. His refusal led to the Nika Revolt, 6 weeks of rioting that resulted in the deaths of 30,000 people.
Wow.
So Kaepernick taking a knee isn't exactly unprecedented.
No.
A lot of stuff has gone on, and I got a list of some of the stuff right here. We have, and we'll take turns. I'll pass the list around. We have 1883, a man named Moses. On August 10th, 1883, Cap Anson, the owner, manager, first baseman of the Chicago White Sox, took his team to Toledo, Ohio to play an exhibition game. He demanded that the Blue Stockings not play Moses Fleetwood Walker, the African-American catcher. Walker wasn't going to actually play anyway because he was injured, but when informed of Anson's demand, the Toledo manager, Charlie Morton, took a stand and called his bluff, saying he started Walker in right field instead. And he said, and Anson said, "We'll play this game, but we won't play Never No More with the N-word." Toledo joined the American Association the next year, and on May 1st, 1884, Walker became the first African-American major leaguer when he took the field against Louisville. 3 years later, Anson finally got his way when owners enacted a rule barring black players from professional baseball.
Hence the creation of the Negro Leagues.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. And without the Negro Leagues, you don't have Jackie Robinson, Monty Irvin.
Right.
You don't have guys like that. You know, Satchel Paige. You would never hear about these guys.
No.
You know, without the Negro League.
You want to take forced play? It's another baseball one.
Oh, okay. Okay. 1890, forced play. John Montgomery Ward is the only player in the Hall of Fame with 2,000 hits and 100 wins. He also later started a major department store chain. But his impact on the business of baseball was huge as well. In the late 1880s, players bridled at the salaries that they were being paid under the National League's reserve clause. Led by Ward, they organized a new league for the 1890 season and got many of the most talented players to sign. The Players' League lasted only 1 year because it butted heads in the same city as the National League, but it had far more future Hall of Famers and provided a roadmap that is still useful a century later.
There you go. Another guy.
See, probably a lot of Americans don't realize, you know, I mean, they look at baseball and they're like, oh, yeah, Jackie Robinson.
Well,
you know, baseball is highly racist.
they know the base. They don't know the base knowledge that there was a Negro League.
Yes.
But they don't look beyond that. Oh, there was a Negro League?
Yeah.
Then Jackie Robinson.
Yeah.
No.
And then everything was roses.
Yeah, exactly. This went on for a very long time.
Yes.
Here we go. 1906, Aaron Go Bragh. Peter O'Connor, an Irish long jumper, finished second in the 1906 games in Athens, but first in the history of Olympic flag protests. He had gone to Greece believing he was representing Ireland, but when he got there, he was told there would be no Irish team, just one from Great Britain. So as the Union Jack was raised for him, he scaled the flagpole as teammate Con Leahy stood guard at the base. When he reached the top, he unfolded the green Irish flag he had smuggled onto the track, emblazoned with a gold harp, shamrocks, and the words Aaron Go Bragh. The flag had an entirely different meaning.
Yes.
I can't believe they're going to tell this Irish guy that he's going to play for Great Britain.
Yeah.
Being a Mick.
Yeah.
Kill the English.
Yes.
Kill the English.
That's
I'm
like
good.
That's like telling an American they're going to play for Canada.
Yeah,
exactly.
It might be even worse.
It might be even worse. Yeah.
You want to take the next one, Mackey?
No, Canada's nice, you know.
Yeah.
So
we're
we
sweeping,
can really knock it
sweeping for silver.
Yes.
Mackey, you gotta get off the cables.
No. Canada.
Sorry, guys.
Canada is Alabama with polar bears.
All right, so we're up
Sweeping
to
for silver.
1936, sweeping for silver. Berlin Games forced American athletes to decide how best to object to Hitler's Aryan agenda. Harvard track star Milton Green, fencer Albert Wolff of France, and basketball players from Long Island University chose not to participate in the protest of virulent anti-Semitism in Germany. On the other hand, we had Jesse Owens and Mac Robinson, who elected to compete to put a lie to Hitler's precepts of a master race. Big shock, Owens won 4 gold medals, as we know. And this infuriated Hitler, as we know. Robinson, older brother of future sports pioneer Jackie Robinson, so we got a nice connection to there. He finished second in 200 meters behind Owens. Robinson found out the silver medal was not worth a lot. Only job that he could find when he returned was a street sweeper in Pasadena. Eloquent protest, Robinson wore his Olympic jacket while working in a white neighborhood during the evenings. Response from residents also said a lot about America. They got the cops to make him take off the jacket.
Jesus.
So seriously.
Here's an Olympian.
I mean,
and you're telling him to take off his Olympic jacket.
Yeah, what do you even say to this?
Yeah.
You had a guy that basically gave his middle finger to Hitler when nobody else was going to.
Yeah.
And
wow.
Teammate gets back from all this. He's wearing his coat while he's cleaning the streets.
Yeah.
And they call the cops on him.
Yeah.
And the cops probably beat him up, too.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you can't even speak to how wrong this whole thing is.
Absolutely.
It dumbfounds you.
That was a hell of a protest, though. You go over there and win.
Yeah, exactly.
Take that, Hitler.
Damn it. Run across the finish line.
Yep. All right, 1947, a tree grows in Brooklyn. Some might argue that the Brooklyn Dodgers' decision to integrate baseball wasn't a protest. But in retrospect, this act of courage by Jackie Robinson and of defiance by general manager Branch Rickey may have been the single most successful demonstration for racial equality in American history. Robinson had to walk through a cauldron of hatred to show he belonged and to open the doors for African Americans in every walk of life.
And that's the truth.
Yeah.
And you know, and you know, baseball was inherently racist before that. He came in, and then, you know, he was accepted by guys like, you know, Yogi Berra, Mickey Mantle, Al Kaline, Duke Snider. You know, all of these, like, titans of American sports. He was accepted, you know. And that tells you a lot about race relations in this country.
Yeah.
You know, that these guys, you know, I mean, here you got, you know, Mantle's like, a hillbilly from Oklahoma, you know. These guys accepted this guy. He was their teammate. He was their, you know, he was their opponent. And they all liked him. Yeah. You know.
Biggest controversy for Mickey Mantle was him and Roger Maris.
Yeah.
The 61 homer.
Yeah.
Did that have anything to do with the race relations?
Nope.
No, it did not. That was your controversy.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big deal.
No.
All right, I'll take the next one, and then I'll let you take the one after that, because it'll get us back into a little bit of Raider history.
Oh, okay.
So, 1961, serving notice. While in Lexington, Kentucky for an exhibition game before the 1961-62 season, Bill Russell and the other black members of the Boston Celtics were refused service at a restaurant. They boycotted the game.
Boston, of all things, by the way.
Well, they were in Lexington, Kentucky, but they boycotted the game, a groundbreaking statement at a time when blacks were still expected not to complain publicly about discrimination. Russell became an outspoken advocate for integration. After the 1963 assassination of civil rights leader Medgar Evers in Jackson, Mississippi, he flew down to Jackson to conduct integrated basketball camps.
Damn.
Yeah.
Celtics were good then, man.
Nah, like we're talking about Bill Russell.
Yeah.
Of all this is Bill Russell. It's not even getting to late '60s. ABA, ABA pushed the limits. They did what they had to do, but this was Bill Russell, the Celtics.
Yeah.
Early '60s.
Yes.
No support.
No.
Just screw you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Screw all of you.
All right, this one starts at the bottom of the page and continues.
Okay. All right. 1965, hard time in the Big Easy. The AFL All-Star Game was scheduled to be played in New Orleans at Tulane Stadium on January 16, 1965. But when the 21 black players arrived in the city, they were met with hostility and denials of service. They couldn't even get cab rides from the airport. With the support of white AFL stars such as Buffalo quarterback Jack Kemp, who was a future Republican candidate for vice president, and San Diego offensive tackle Ron Mix, the players told the AFL commissioner Joe Foss that they would not play in New Orleans, so the game was moved to Houston. See?
Hell yeah.
And who else was a big part of that decision?
Mr. Al Davis.
Yes.
Mr. Al Davis.
Yes.
Al Davis refused to play in a city that enforced segregation.
Yes. And then we got 1967, Wake the Giants. On June 4th, Jim Brown, Bill Russell, Lou Alcindor, and other prominent...
Kareem to clarify.
Abdul-Jabbar, and other prominent black athletes met in Cleveland in a show of support for Muhammad Ali, who is Cassius Clay, who had refused induction into the U.S. Army as a conscientious objector. 2 weeks later, he was convicted of draft evasion and sentenced to 5 years in prison and stripped of his heavyweight title.
Tom, does that include Mr. Cassius Clay's statement? Because that's really
it's
important.
Not in there.
It's not in there?
No.
To paraphrase, Mr. Clay basically said, you want to take me overseas to kill people with yellow skin when over here in my country you're willing to kill people with a different color skin? I'm not doing it.
Yeah. And he
I'm
was
not
right.
doing it.
Ali counterpunched in the courts as others fought with him. Alcindor, in particular, emerged as a force for change. The NCAA Basketball Rules Committee had just taken the dunk away from Alcindor and UCLA. The committee said it was to restore competitive balance, but the ban clearly had a target. To me, the new no-dunk rule smacks a little of discrimination, Alcindor told the Chicago Defender. Most of the people who dunk are black athletes.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's true.
And that goes to the ABA.
Yes.
They had the same issue with Dr. J.
Yes.
Boy, he did it better than anybody else.
Sure.
Well, yeah, he was leaping from the foul line. But they finally sucked up to it. But still, the fact there was actually a rule to stop them from doing this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
No, here's a good one. This is one of my favorite ones to talk about. Fists of Fury, 1968. The 200-meter final of the Mexico City Games became as fraught with significance as the 200 meters final at the 1936 Berlin Games. After Tommy Smith won gold and John Carlos silver, they stepped onto the podium shoeless, but decked out in black socks and gloves. Then they raised their fist above their bowed heads to silently protest racial discrimination. Well, there's something. First of all, there's a name missing.
The white guy.
Peter Norman.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He also participated in the protest, even though he didn't raise his fist. He participated by, first of all, Tommy Smith actually forgot his gloves. So that's why they only have one glove on, and that was Peter's suggestion. He goes, well, why don't you guys each just wear one glove? So he was actively taking part not only in the protest, but in discussing what they were going to do, how they were going to do it.
Yes.
And he also said, I want one of those human rights pens to wear. And they got him a human rights pen. And they didn't have any extras, but they actually, Tommy Smith took it off of one of the guys from the rowing team and put it on Peter. And Peter Norman qualified for the Australian team the following year and was barred from. He was treated as a scumbag when he got back to Australia because he took part in this protest. So he needs to be mentioned too.
Yes.
And the other reason that he
Absolutely.
the other reason that he needs to be mentioned is because he actually took the silver. John Carlos took the bronze in that.
Yes.
They messed up in this little piece of the article, but Peter came in second in that race. But there you go.
And he had the balls to stand up for what was right.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, like this is what we're looking at.
Yeah.
People who have had the balls to actually stand up and say, screw it.
Yeah.
No, this is not right.
Yes.
This is not right.
Sure.
And he's passed away, so rest in peace, Peter. All right, 1973, Battle of the Sexes.
Oh, God, what a joke. Yeah, that was...
1973 was
Wait a minute. This isn't actually a sports protest? I thought it was just like an ABC Wild World of Sports. Special for ratings.
It seriously was. They made such a big deal about it.
They did. So it was the year that 73 was when Billie Jean King brought equality to women's tennis. In June, she organized the Women's Tennis Association. Soon thereafter, she threatened to lead a boycott of the U.S. Open if the prize money for winning the finals was not the same for men and women, $25,000. And in September, she played Bobby Riggs in the Battle of the Sexes, easily beating the former men's champion to make her point.
Okay.
So
I never knew that was actually a form of protest.
No, seriously, that was an issue.
I thought it was just okay, it was
it's amazing that it was, but it was an issue.
Yes,
and realistically, homeboy was useless.
Yeah,
he was useless.
Well,
he had no balls to actually be putting that up.
Well, I think that
she smacked him down.
I think that the two of them were kind of hamming it up for the.
It could be,
but the point was, she, rightfully so, said, "Well, why are we getting paid less than these guys?"
Yeah,
and
you know what? They're still fighting that stuff.
They are fighting.
Oh, absolutely.
Fighting soccer, basketball,
WNBA.
Yeah, they're still fighting those things.
Yeah,
everyday work.
All right, here you go. Coming out in numbers.
1982, coming out in numbers. After finishing sixth in the decathlon at the 1968 Mexico City Games, Tom Waddell became a physician and gay rights advocate in San Francisco. After joining a gay bowling league, Waddell decided to organize a gay Olympics in San Francisco that began on
Mackey's on those cables again.
Oh, sorry,
that
guys.
began on August 28th, 1982, with Tina Turner singing the national anthem. The International Olympic Committee sued to have Waddell remove the word Olympics from the event, but the competition, renamed the Gay Games, was a resounding success. Although Waddell would die of AIDS in 1987, his brainchild continues to thrive every 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why? It's just, why should it even be to that point?
I don't know.
Why?
Because,
what can you even say? Who cares? At the bottom line, who cares?
Exactly.
Why has this been such an issue for years and years and years? And the worst part of this particular issue, it's acted like it never existed.
Yeah.
That's my
never
thing.
Heard that.
Yeah. Oh, nobody was gay until the 50s.
Yeah.
Right.
Seriously? Seriously?
The whole entire Roman Empire.
Yeah. Nobody was gay until the 50s.
You didn't see Caligula? They were all gay.
So,
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but
no, there is. It's just like people had to live in these closeted, terrible existences.
Yes.
To just be who they were.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
To just be who they were. And is it such a big deal? Sorry, you're going to have to cut that. But is it such a big deal? Jeez, just live your lives, man.
Yeah.
And you're talking about athletes. What difference does it make where the athlete is at?
Yes.
It doesn't.
Color, sexuality. Who cares, man? It's your passion.
The gay athlete is still a big issue in all sports.
Oh, it is. It is. No question.
It's a huge issue.
No question. It's a huge issue.
Huge issue.
It shouldn't be.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be, but it is.
I mean, out of all the pro athletes in this country in the big four major sports, what? You mean to tell me 3 or 4 or 5 guys are the only ones that have ever come out as gay? Really?
Yeah.
Come on.
Talking about percentages through history of the leagues.
Yes.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. There's not many.
Please.
There's got to be less than 10 that have publicly came out.
I mean,
it's insane.
There's guys who have come out after their careers, but seriously.
Yeah.
All these athletes.
Yeah.
Yeah, these 2 guys that actually came out of the closet. Seriously,
it's mind-boggling.
It is.
It really is.
It is.
All right, here's one. This is a happy thing, I think. 1989, he had the floor. On January 14th, 1989, Georgetown basketball coach John Thompson walked off the court before a home game against Boston College. He was protesting a new NCAA rule, Proposition 42, that denied scholarships to freshmen who were academically ineligible. If these kids today don't get that opportunity, who are they going to look to? I had to reassure myself I was doing the right thing. I'm sure that I did do the right thing. He's like, I'm sure now I'm right. Other influential coaches backed Thompson up, saying the rule targeted black athletes, and the NCAA later rescinded it. Which is good. I mean,
absolutely.
Where are some of these kids going to get opportunity from, right? And
sure.
And they lie about it, but it's supposed to be for the NCAA about education.
Yeah. All right, who wants the next one?
It's about the sports.
No, for the NCAA, it's
so
about money.
Why could you even put that out there? So he called it out.
Yep.
It's stupid.
Okay, 1996. Oh, say, can you not see? Denver Nuggets guard Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf was having the best season of his career when he decided to stop standing for the national anthem.
And what year was this?
1996.
Not 2016?
Hey, Tom.
And this guy's Colin Kaepernick played basketball?
I was going to say.
so... Yeah.
But he was a Niner, and
on March 12th, 1996, NBA Commissioner David Stern suspended Abdul-Rauf for his protest. They soon came to an agreement. He could close his eyes and look downward during the anthem. From then on, Abdul-Rauf did just that, saying a Muslim prayer to himself while his eyes closed. While he showed due respect, 2 Denver disc jockeys trespassed on a mosque to play the national anthem with their trumpets. 5 years later, arsonists burned down Abdul-Rauf's home in Gulfport, Mississippi.
Jesus Christ.
Long before Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, nobody burned down Kaepernick's home.
No. Or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's home or anybody else's.
Yeah.
So, there's real racism right there.
Yep.
Or, as much as Cassius Muhammad Ali went through, I don't think they burned down his house either. I don't think they really went after his family.
gonads the size of
I was gonna
boulders to
Yes.
go up to Muhammad Ali's
Muhammad
house.
Ali. Muhammad Ali is going to put you on the freaking ground, man.
2004, A Call to Disarm 2. During the Iraq War, baseball began a new tradition by playing God Bless America during the 7th inning stretch. Actually, no, they don't. The only team that does that every game is the New York Yankees. Nobody else does. They do it on Sunday afternoons.
Really?
That's it.
Okay.
The only team plays it every game is the New York Yankees.
Well, maybe it was just this year.
But Carlos Delgado, the Blue Jays' first baseman, deliberately took a seat during each rendition, saying, "I don't stand because I don't believe in the war." So,
Good for him.
Delgado,
There you go.
a Puerto Rican, decided, "I'm not standing for the national anthem because I don't support the war."
Tom, that's not America.
And yeah, well, you know.
Uh-huh.
I was at Yankee Stadium one time.
You're on the things again.
I was at Yankee Stadium one time for a game. During this, when they played God Bless America. Okay? I got up to go to the bathroom and everything, 7th inning stretch. I had a New York City cop stop me and say, "You need to stand at attention and take off your hat." And I was like, "Why?" He said, "Because God Bless America's playing." I said, "Well, I don't know what country you're from, but the national anthem is the national anthem, and it ain't God Bless America."
And
he kind of looked at me. I was like,
I don't have to stand or take off my hat for either one of them.
"No." But I looked him right in the eyes and said, national anthem of this country is the Star Spangled Banner, man. It ain't God Bless America. I don't need to stand for it. I don't need to take my hat off for it. I go, "This ain't North Korea." And I walked away from him.
I could go potty on this damn chair if I really feel like
Yes.
it. Yeah. Bottom line.
Not on Tom's chair.
Yeah,
Well,
but, you know, go potty
not
on
on
my
Tom's chair, but
2010, Los Suns.
Oh, I like this one.
In honor of Cinco de Mayo and in protest of Arizona's recent passage of a much stricter immigration policy,
Show me your papers.
the Phoenix Suns donned Los Suns jerseys during the 2010 NBA playoffs.
Nice.
Yes.
Los Suns.
nice jerseys, too. Actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they're nice jerseys. Really.
Fashion statement. To protest the death of Trayvon Martin, an unarmed black teenager who was shot to death in Florida by an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what nationality idiot is. He was shot by an idiot.
Shot by an idiot who thought he had some type of authority to police neighborhoods and, shoot people because they had Skittles. I digress. In honor of Trayvon Martin, to protest the death of Trayvon Martin, members of the Miami Heat, including LeBron James, donned hooded sweatshirts before their game on March 24th, 2012. That was like the day of the hoodie.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
You wear a hoodie, you're a thug, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, look in my closet. What do you say?
Hoodies.
And I'm proud to be a freaking thug, man.
That's right. All right, here's the last one on this list.
Here's mine.
2016, A Matter of Conscience. In July 2016, members of the Minnesota Lynx, New York Liberty, and Phoenix Mercury, that's WNBA, Tom.
Oh, okay. It's not soccer?
No.
Oh, okay.
Began wearing Black Lives Matter t-shirts to WNBA games to protest recent police shootings. Police unions took offense, and the league fined both the teams and the players. But after Liberty Center, Tina Charles took to Twitter to say that she refused to be silent, WNBA President Lisa Borders rescinded the fines and began a dialogue, saying, "While we expect players to comply with league rules and uniform guidelines, we also understand their desire to use their platforms to address important social issues."
Good.
Which is the way...
Good for them, man.
Yes.
Like, why has this been such an issue? Why is this even a question?
That should have been Goodell's comment.
Immediately.
Yeah, well...
Immediately.
Yeah. Finally it is. But, what, 3 years? It took 3 years to get that out of Goodell?
Yeah.
You want to bust Kaepernick for the socks he was wearing? Okay. That's against uniform violation. But to bust them and to do stuff like just because the guy was kneeling down.
You just pointed out something that infuriates me to this day. Jack Tatum, his last years of life, he was a sock cop. Jack Tatum was enforcing their stupid uniform rules. Hey, your socks aren't right.
Yeah.
It's Jack Tatum, for God's sake.
Yeah,
this
well,
is the assassin.
Exactly. Jack Tatum took his uniform seriously, man.
He damn straight. Damn straight. We got to say Jack Tatum took what he was wearing.
Yes.
But he spent...
Yeah.
He was the uniform cop.
Yeah.
Like, it's Jack. Don't want Jack. Why are you walking around telling people like to put their socks up? My God, Jack, you've took people's heads off.
Yeah.
God bless you. We love you. But Jack, come
Jersey
on.
proud.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Passaic, Jersey proud.
So that's what I had on my list. I mean, there's so many things we could talk about and beat this to death, but I hope that we nailed it into your heads that this all didn't start with Colin Kaepernick.
No, and I hope we gave you a different perspective on things.
Yeah,
with our guests and things that we have said.
Yeah,
The guest was really important.
I mean,
and I thought that was a fantastic.
We are
conversation
more than happy to lend our platform to anybody that wants to come on and discuss their issues. We have no problems with that. We never did. We just didn't think there was a need for it. But if there is, anybody wants to come on, give their respect, their perspective.
In the time that we're living in right now, I think that it's, normally we would have avoided politics and avoided any of this discussion.
Anybody that knows us knows we do a pretty good job of avoiding all that stuff.
But I think that it's important right now that we don't avoid it.
Yeah, not now.
That we do discuss it, and because cooler heads have to prevail, man. And I'm telling you, if us three knuckleheads are the cooler heads,
this country's in trouble.
This country's in trouble.
Isn't it frightening?
It is frightening.
Yeah.
It's scary that we are actually the people with the rational minds to actually be like, everybody stop. Everybody stop, man.
But you know what? I think we're going to wrap it up, and the way that we're going to end this episode is we're going to go ahead and just play a couple voicemails.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Some of them are old because whatever. But
you're a slacker?
I'm a slacker.
Yeah, we catch up with you eventually.
Damn slacker white guys.
But anyway, go Raiders. We got to put that in there somewhere. Yeah. Actually, we'll get into Raiders topic while Chuck's trying to find the
Well, I'm trying to figure it out.
This is an awesome thing. Derek Carr, and I know, point of contention with a lot of Raider Nation. Personally, I don't think it's necessary, but he has organized a group of about 40 Raiders who have been working out on their own fields in Las Vegas.
Nice.
They're all coming out there. They're working on their own stuff. Regardless, forget training camp.
Yeah.
They are out there, and he is the catalyst behind it, and they're all doing it. So hopefully, we've got so many good additions to the Raiders. I'm just hoping, you're missing so much training camp. You're missing the spring camps, whatever. But
they're still working.
If he's gotten those guys out there and they're doing it, that's great for the future, man.
Sure.
That's great.
Yep.
That's absolutely great for the future.
Sure.
What's going on?
I don't know.
Yeah, we're still working on the voicemails here.
Here we go.
Splatterhead, Pots, Fits, Inebriation, the Capo, and the Q-Dog Raider. In the spirit of unity, I wanted to make sure that I reached out on this 50th episode. You guys keep doing what you do. I listen from afar, but I'm always near. What am I drinking? Straight North Carolina Moonshine.
All right.
Oh,
Nice.
damn. Straight North Carolina moonshine.
All right,
Go, bud.
dog.
And remember, in this time, in this turbulence, in this community, in this nation, all we need is unity. Reach out, make a friend. Make sure that friend doesn't look like you, and don't take yourself too seriously. Turn off Rush Limbaugh. Yo.
All right.
That's a great message,
Yeah.
man.
Absolutely, man.
North Carolina moonshine right off the bat. That's what
Yeah.
we're talking about.
All right, we got another one.
What's going on, my Raider brothers? This is Central Valley Raider.
All right.
Long time no talk, man. I still listen to your show when I can. Just a couple things. Let's start off with craft beer. All right, let's hit that. I've been wanting to try this. Maybe you guys have tried it. I think it's called the Alchemist Heady Topper. I've been wanting to try that.
That's a Vermont brew.
Get from the Craft Brew Kings. So I guess it's a liquor store that could, in this day and age, they could ship beer. That thing sells out in seconds. Called the Alchemist Heady Topper. Been trying to get that. Let me know what you think. Have you guys tried it? I want to know what the hype is. So I'm buying in. There's a couple other ones. There's Pliny the Younger. I've done Pliny the Elder, but I want to know what Pliny the Younger is. So those are two I'm just throwing out beer-wise, craft beer-wise, guys. Love when you guys give your comments on that kind of stuff. I am a craft beer dude. Other than that, man, my Raiders, I think we're going to throw some people off. I think people are thinking we're going to do the same stuff. We're going to get 2 wide receivers. We're going to get a wide receiver and a linebacker, blah, blah, blah. I think we might go defense. Defense wins championships. And when you put pressure on the quarterback and you put another defensive end on the other opposite end of Crosby, and you already got Malik Collins in the middle, what if you get another defensive tackle in the middle? And with 19, you get a defensive end. Then you're going to hit dink and dunk. He's not going to have time to catch his speedsters, right? That's what I'm thinking. But again, I'm drinking daddy sodas right now. I'm drinking some Sierra Nevada torpedoes.
Daddy sodas. He's drinking some daddy sodas.
All right, man. My take on the Alchemist from Heady Topper. Or a Heady Topper from Alchemist. I think it's Alchemist Brewery.
It is.
Vermont. They're a Vermont brewery. I'm like you. I don't understand what the hype is. It's a good beer. I don't understand what the big hype is. If I'm going to hype a beer from Vermont, it's going to be Lawson's Finest Liquids. That would be the beer I'd be hyping from Vermont. So if you can grab some of that at your place out there, they make some good beers, brother. And I think they surpassed the Alchemist, man.
Maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I think Heady Topper is like that one IPA that was kind of a turning point for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It was that IPA that people were like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
And the Alchemist does put out some quality stuff.
Yeah.
But, there's a lot of breweries that people, are really hyped about.
Yeah.
That,
As far as Pliny the Younger, I have not seen it, have not tasted it,
no.
so I have no idea.
And we're sorry it took us so long to get back to you.
Yeah.
Get your
But-
voicemail on there, but we've been on kind of a hiatus.
Yeah.
To address what I think we fit the defense. I think we fit the defense pretty good.
Yeah.
I think we did too.
And we've put some nice additions on offense.
Yes.
Didn't really need the offense, but it was nice additions.
Yeah.
It was really nice additions, and I think we got some balance on defense now. I think we're all right. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but I think we're all right. We've got some balance on both sides.
I don't know what's going to happen with the Raiders, but I know what's going to happen with the Fan Club Blitz. Mm-hmm. We're going to say adios.
We're going to get out of here.
We got to go put yeast in our beer.
Yeah, we got to finish up our beer, and we got other stuff to do, so
Yeah.
we are out.
And
Hell of an addition, guys.
Thanks
Hell
for
of an
listening.
addition.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to episode 50, man. We I hope it didn't hit you too hard, but
Yeah.
hey, we'll be back to our regular shenanigans on the next show.
Yeah.
As long as the world doesn't do anything else insane.
Yeah.
Well, as long as we don't explode.
All right.
Later.
right, this is Tom. I guess we're going to be wrapping up our show here. If you have any questions for me, or you want to call in and talk about anything you want on the Raider Fan Club Blitz, our number is 732-798-0257. Feel free. Ask me about Mr. Skittles. I love Mr. Skittles. We're also going to give a shout out to the Irish Cottage, our home base. They are located at 602 Route 23 North in Franklin, New Jersey. And their number is 973-827-2090. And give us a call. Let us know what you think. Questions, comments, anything you want to say. Feel free. Talk to you next week. Bye.